Leslie from User First, and I'm interviewing today Mel Gordon from Tap Hunter. And we're going to be discussing social media campaigns and how to monitor and measure them. Mel, what is Tap Hunter about, and how did the company get started?
Sure. We basically came up with the idea for Tap Hunter. We're huge craft beer fans, my husband and I, and we were finding we had to search a million different sites and newsletters to find our favorite craft beer, so he decided to build an application to help us go find our favorite beer.
Sweet. I am definitely a quality beer lover. That's why we're here today talking about Tap Hunter. So does Tap Hunter utilize social media as a marketing channel?
We sure do. That's actually solely how we launched in April of 2009, was through our own network of Twitter and Facebook.
Great. So I want to know your thoughts on measuring social media campaigns, and I'm going to read the statement that I found. So traditional and online marketing channels can be effectively measured for ROI, but measuring ROI from social media can be complicated. Do you agree or disagree?
I totally agree.
Can you elaborate why you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I think people have a hard time understanding what even to measure. A lot of times it's, oh, how many fans and followers you have. But great, how many mentions did you get? How many retweets did you get? And how do you count that? And the increase over time. I mean, it can be very tedious, and I know a lot of people out there that manually track that kind of stuff. So it can be difficult to also track mentions and retweets back to someone purchasing the product. So there's a little bit of a disconnect.
Okay. So you're saying more or less that companies are not really identifying and clearing their goals and objectives, right?
Agreed.
So a couple of months ago, I read from eMarketer, Marketing Sherpa, and a whole bunch of these internet marketing research firms. And this is kind of what they asked B2B and B2C companies as to what was their primary objective. And the top thing that everybody said was brand awareness, followed by customer growth, followed by customer acquisition. So what is Tap Hunter's objectives for engaging your users or fans?
Sure. So what's really important for us is people can log into our website through Facebook Connect. We can actually measure, the number of users coming through. And then also users have the ability to approve that we get access to their email address or not. And that's an important piece for us, is acquiring additional info from them. The way that we drive that is by making them feel safe and building a true community around Tap Hunter and letting them know who the founders are behind the scenes so that they feel comfortable providing more information to us through Facebook.
So would you say that you have one of these strategies here, or are you kind of going through all of the brand awareness? Because I would think that customer acquisition would be something that everybody would want. Mm-hmm. So I really found this report kind of like, whoa, it's actually brand awareness and online reputation management.
Yeah, a lot of the social media that we do is very much branding, and as much as we want to track it back to monetary and ROI goals, it can be difficult.
Okay, so now that you've mentioned tracking and monitoring ROI, everyone more or less has heard of web analytics or has Omniture or Google Analytics, and you can measure unique time spent on site, conversions, somewhat engagement goals. But do you think that these web analytics tools can support social media optimization?
There's not one tool out there that helps give someone a complete dashboard of what all those stats are. We use Google Analytics, Google Alerts, Social Mention. We manually count stuff. We have to pull the data from multiple places to kind of dissect what we want. Okay. Another bits of analytical data that we pull in is from our Facebook campaigns. And so that adds a whole nother level, that's not all fully integrated into Google Analytics.
Right. So do you mind sharing, other than Google Analytics and Google Trends, what other tools or metrics you are monitoring these campaigns? So for instance, there's things like sentiment metrics, cloud, and some metrics that I've kind of used are content consumption and people who are retweeting. Mm-hmm. If you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about your Tap Hunter campaign.
Yeah, we definitely monitor our Facebook as we're trying to grow the following there. Twitter following, for some reason, has grown and been a lot easier for us to grow faster. Facebook's a little bit different, and what's important for us to measure there is our conversations with people, and the quality, and then also the response time of us getting back to people. So we're very mindful of always asking open-ended questions on Facebook, because we'll get comment feeds going, 10, 15, 20 deep, and that's super important engagement for us.
I never thought about that, the response time that it takes. I'm sure I'm really bad at response time with a lot of things. I'm very guilty of it. It might take me a day, and I apologize to people who post comments, and I always say I'm sorry, it takes me a day or two, but that's something really interesting on how to engage your users, is definitely being there and having a voice and being present. So thank you for sharing, Melanie. Was there anything else that you'd like to share with the users, or anything else on social media?
Yeah, a big piece for us in terms of just goals is also continuing to build our email database. I think as people get frustrated with being over marketed to on Facebook, a lot of people are kind of pushing and scaling back from that, which means it's becoming even more important to continue to build your regular email database. That's a huge metric for us, and we use MailChimp.com, and they have a double opt-in system, and they don't allow us to turn it off. And we've hope MailChimp isn't watching this. So as a goal, someone can sign up for our email database, and we can measure where the source came from. We can see that they came from Twitter or Facebook. They opt in to the Tap Hunter email database, but they have a double opt-in. So we're actually kind of hacking and putting in some different tracking pixels so that we can measure the actual double opt-in conversion.
Oh, that's so interesting. I've never heard of that conversion ever before.
Yeah, it's been kind of a hiccup in for us understanding what our true conversion rate is from Twitter and Facebook fans to our email database.
Right. Wow, it's really good insights there. So here we have your next event that's happening. Do you want to discuss a little bit what's this all about?
Yeah, so Meetup.com, which most everyone's heard of. In San Diego, there's SD Tweetup. As a group, there's almost 1,000 members. It was started in 2008, and Tap Hunters helped organize the next Tweetup during Beer Week. So we're bringing us social media gurus and the beer gurus all together in one room. So we're very excited, and the number of RSVPs that's grown in just a little under 2 weeks has been pretty phenomenal.
That's awesome. Do you have a URL to kind of give to people if people are interested in this Tweetup or Tap Hunter?
Yeah, so Tap Hunter is just taphunter.com, and this one is meetup.com/SD Tweetup.
Awesome. Thank you, Melanie, so much for your time. And that's it for today. And if you have any questions, you could reach Melanie on Twitter at Mel Gordon, is it? And you can always reach me at user